Hi, welcome to Bella's Yoga Room. I'm Bella. Thank you for joining me in the water practice, which is part of the Elemental series. Today we are going to be moving fluidly. This is thinking about the emotional release, which is often associated with water. Like all the elements, they are all essential, but water is something that we cannot live without. We are made up majority of water. So sometimes we can connect with, if we're trying to think about the elements within us, that's the blood. Every cell has water, so every part of you. We are going to be having a block and we are going to start in an extended child's pose today. So just coming into that position when you're ready. So bringing the knees nice and wide, toes to touch, and then allowing the hips just to sink back. And just as you settle in here, as you feel points at which your body touches the ground. And as we close our eyes, just thinking about what's happening within us. The blood that circulates, that nourishes, sends all the nutrients all over the body, the healing, the lymph fluid. And then just allowing yourself just to rise up a little bit and start to sort of move and head towards that right hand. As we're moving around and coming over in a circular direction to the left, and then circling back in through those hips. Really slow. Trying to see if you can just keep moving. So never really stopping here. You might start to inhale as you're coming forward and exhaling as you're coming back. Inhaling and then coming back and then starting to go the other way. We're keeping these movements today really fluid, really thinking about just like water never stops. So we're not pushing here, we're not forcing, we're not moving fast. Just like water is an unstoppable force that even the smallest trickle over time can create valleys, can create a lot of damage. So never underestimate the water, and that things can happen slowly. So respecting that. Beautiful. All right, now coming up, bringing those knees now underneath the hips. And in our cat-cow here, again, thinking about a continuous sort of slow movement. So as we're inhaling and then exhaling, nice and slow. So we sort of never really reach point. Just notice what that feels like. Again, not jarring or forcing, just really slow, creating that movement in the spine. And then just coming back to a neutral spine, to lift up that right knee, and some gentle circles here with that hip. So these can be small or however feels comfortable for your body today. Round and round. Other way. Again, water always finds the easiest path. Will always travel down. And just release that right knee, readjusting as you need, and then lifting up that left knee. Again, circles there with that left hip, as big or small. Just keep that movement going. Thinking about, in all our joints, we've got fluid. So we're just sort of giving a little massage to all those joints. The fluid around them. Let's go the other way. And allowing that left knee to come down. Sitting back on those heels. Let's have a little circles now. Those wrists, give the hands a break. Circles one way and the other. Again, nice and slow. Beautiful. And then flowing here, coming back to our hands and knees, shoulders over those wrists. And we're going to just extend out that right leg there, and then just flow that in, that knee in and out. In. You might even sort of want to have a little kick up. Bring it in, kick it up, bring it in, get up. Excellent. Other side. Bring that, feel that in and then up. Not like kicking with force again, just gently. Beautiful. Let's tuck those toes under, lifting up those hips, stepping back into our down dog here. Bending those knees. Gonna come forward into our plank. You can lower those knees, and we're flowing down, coming up, back down, and back into our down dog. Okay, coming back, plank, down, up, and we're just gonna stay here with the hands still underneath those shoulders. And we're just going to sort of rise here like a wave. It can be a small movement, and then coming down. Marrying up the breath. And then tucking those toes again up to plank and pushing back. Walk out. Let's lift up that right leg and then bring it forward, lowering down that left knee. Arms flowing up and then flowing here as we exhale. Inhaling, bending, making sure that right knee has a bend in it. Inhaling. And coming hands, both sides of the feet as we step back into our down dog, lifting up that left leg, flowing it through, lowering the right knee. Inhale, arms are up, and then flow. Inhale, and flowing in again here. It's whenever sort of pausing, just gently flowing between the poses here. Taking this as slow as you need to. And hands down, stepping that left foot back again. Fantastic. I'm going to step the right foot up now. Get that back leg, left leg facing out. We're coming into warrior one. We are going to be doing a half moon pose. So if you have a block or a small chair, that can be really helpful. You can also practice sort of up next to a wall. So just allowing the hands to come down, resting here on those hips. Feeling that stretch in that left thigh here. And then bringing the back foot up. So when now that foot is still on a 45-degree angle. And just folding here at those hips. You could stay here. Again, gentle bend here. You've got your block handy. We want to just place that about like a block's length away from our toes. Bending into that right foot. Sorry, that right knee. You can't bend your right foot. And then just, you might hear, just sort of notice and play. Just if you can transfer that weight, moving the block if you need to. Left hand can stay on the left hip. Gaze can stay down. And wiggling, you're alive. And when you're done, having a little play there, allowing that back left knee come back to the mat, and then allowing yourself pushing back into our down dog. Nice deep breaths. Wonderful. Other side, left leg's going up. Stepping to the front of the mat, turning out on that back right foot. Arms coming to our warrior one here. They can always stay there on the hips. Feeling that stretch here, that right hip flexor. Getting light on those toes. We're just bending, bringing that back right foot in. So it's about a much narrower stance than your warrior. And that back right foot's on that 45-degree angle. And then folding at the front at our hips. If you wanted a block or a small chair, make sure that's lined up. In line with your front left foot. And staying here, or maybe getting that left hand down onto your prop. And having a play, lifting up that back right foot. Keeping a steady gaze. One side is always different than the other. You're allowed to move. The whole practice here is movement, is fluidity. And when you've had enough there, allowing that back right foot to come back down to the mat, high lunge here, and then allowing the hands to come down, pushing back, walking out those feet in your down dog here. Well done. And it wouldn't be a fluid hip practice if we didn't finish here. So lifting up that back right foot. You might even hear, just sort of see what it feels like to open a little bit more here. And then bring that right knee up to behind our right wrist, and allowing the back left knee to come down, resting, untuck those left toes into our half pigeon. If you wanted to have, or if you've got any pillows or blankets handy, you can always put them under that right hip. An option as well to come down. You can use a block here to rest the head on if that feels nice. As we breathe into our hips, the storage centers of lots of emotion, making space, anything that's showing up here. You don't need to respond, just notice it. Making any adjustments you need to. Thinking about the water, the blood, the cells in your body that move every second of the day. Again, water is essential for life, but too much water and we drown. Trying to find balance. Nice deep breaths here. Trust the water knows how to get back to the ocean. And if you are down, starting to slowly come up, tucking those left toes under, and then lifting that right leg up, and then letting it come down. Noticing the difference here. And lifting up that left leg. Tip or stack those hips a little bit just to really expand that, create that extension. And then bringing that left knee up behind that left wrist. Bringing that foot up. We just don't want to be sitting on top of that heel. It doesn't have to be directly parallel with the mat, but we don't want to be on top of it. So untucking that right foot. And when you're found a comfortable position here, you might choose to stay upright or to bow down. And as we settle into this left hip, noticing again and making space for whatever's there. And again, we need emotions in our life, but we can't be overrun by them. So noticing our emotions, and when are we perhaps using emotional reasoning to guide behavior rather than connecting and acting in line with the person that we want to be. Just like the waves, our emotions rise and fall. No emotion lasts forever. We can't stop the waves, we can't stop the emotions, but as John Kabat-Zinn says, we can learn to surf. We can respond, we can find ways to respond rather than just drowning in an emotion. And surfing emotions is going to look different for everybody. Sometimes the first thing we can do when strong emotions show up is to label them, identify them. Here's anxiety showing up. Here's sadness. Here's fear. Here's shame. Here's happiness. Here's joy. Here's jealousy. Here's rage. We are not our emotions. We are humans with emotions. Just like you are not just cells, you are a human being. Last few deep breaths here. And then slowly coming up. If you were folded over, tucking those right toes underneath, stepping back, lift up that left leg and then allow it to come down. Let those knees slowly come down. Bring those knees nice and wide again, toes touching, and just sinking down here into our extended child's pose. And we are actually going to end today's class here in extended child's pose. If you would prefer to come onto your back and end this practice in a Shavasana position, you're very welcome to. Wherever you are, if you feel comfortable, just shutting the eyes, allowing the attention to come inwards. Noticing if you are in your extended child's pose, how's that feeling, maybe compared to the start of the class. We have come full cycle. Maybe imagining again all the movement of the fluid, all those cells floating around, your blood pumping and circulating, all these amazing processes that just happen. And staying in whatever position you're in now for as long as you like. Or if you're ready to flow on with the rest of your day, then let's slowly press up into those hands. Coming to comfortable position, seat of your choosing. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this practice. I love that it's also raining outside, which seems appropriate. And I hope you join me for the rest of this elemental series. I'll see you next time. Thank you.